Hey guys, what's up? It's Claire and welcome back to my channel. So today, as you can tell by the title, today we are going to be picking my August 2024 TBR. So I'm doing this in a new style for me. Obviously this video idea is nowhere near original. A million people have done it, but today I'm going to be letting my TBR prompt jar choose my August TBR. So if you've never seen one of these videos, basically I have a bunch of random prompts in this jar based off of genre, elements in a story, what the cover looks like, anything like that. And I'll be picking one and then I have to pick a book that matches the prompt off of my TBR cart. If you guys watched my recent video, which a lot of you did, thank you so much for all of the love on that video, but I did an organizing my TBR cart video, and as you guys know from that video, I have over 60 books that I haven't read yet. So the goal is to hopefully pick just from my physical TBR. I do have a Kindle, so if the book's available on Kindle, I'll read it on there, but for the most part, I want to dwindle this cart down as much as I can by the end of the year. I also do want to preface this video by saying I am sick, so I'm sorry if I sound a little bit stuffy or my energy levels start to deplete a little bit. I think I have a cold and it's July, so it's a very interesting situation that I'm in. Anyways, for this video, I see myself picking a lot of romance and summer reads based on whatever I pull out of this jar. There are a lot of books here that I have planned to read this summer that I haven't read yet. I've been in a really big slump this summer with reading. I have been reading the same book for like 2-3 weeks now, and I just haven't had the desire to be reading, but I'm hoping that this TBR will change that. My goal next month is to read 10 books, which is super ambitious for me, but I think that I can do it. If I set a goal, I feel like I'm more likely to kind of try to complete that goal. So we're gonna pick some fun reads today, and yeah, let's get started. So I have my TBR jar here, and I did dump it out. I mixed it up like 100 times. I have no idea what I'm gonna be pulling out of here. Okay, also, I am not gonna cheat. Whatever I pull out of this jar is what I get, whether I want to do it or not. So, first one. Okay, we have a blue cover. Okay, I think I have a good bit to work with. These ones are the first one that comes to mind, as well as Nicholas Sparks. This one's really pretty, but I don't know if is that blue? Like, I know the sky's blue, but is it blue enough? I don't know. I have Dear John by Nicholas Sparks. This is a good option. I feel like I'd be able to read this one pretty quickly. We also have some Ellen Hildebrand books. I have the 5-Star Weekend, and I also have the Hotel Nantucket. These are both blue covers. Oh, A Novel Love Story's blue, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna lean more towards a summer read for this prompt. Also, the rule book. This one's pretty blue for the most part. Okay, we have to pick. I'm gonna pick between these 4. I have more blue books like on the back side of this cart and stuff, but I think these are the ones we're gonna go with, these 4. I think I'm leaning more towards reading an Ellen Hildebrand book. I've never read an Ellen Hildebrand book, but I've heard so much about her, and because August is the last full month of summer, I really feel like I need to read one of her books because everyone says that this author just writes like summer. So I want to be in on that. I want to know what that's like. Okay, I think I'm going to choose The Hotel Nantucket by Ellen Hildebrand. I couldn't really choose between these two, but I love a good like business owner style book, and it seems that the main character of this book comes into being like the general manager of the Hotel Nantucket. So I don't know, hopefully this will be interesting. It also doesn't seem like necessarily like a full-on like romance book. I think there will be an element of romance to it, but I'm really excited to read this one. So this is our first book for our August TBR. All right, next TBR prompt. Picked up 2. What's this one? Okay, a booktuber / a bookstagrammer recommendation. So a lot of these books I picked up because they were recommended by like my favorite booktubers, but the first one that comes to mind is going to be Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan. This book was so highly talked about by YouTuber Destiny Sidwell. I'm sure everyone knows who she is. She's like one of the biggest book YouTubers, and I literally love her videos. She talked about this book and hyped it up so much that I went and bought it the next day. So I think this is it. I think this is gonna be the choice that I pick. A lot of people talk about Throne of Glass as well, but I'm saving the rest of that series for like fall time. And The Nightingale is also highly recommended by one of the TikTokers I watch. But I think for summer purposes, I'm gonna go with summer romance. The back of this book says, Allie Morris is a professional organizer whose own life is a mess. Her mom died 2 years ago, then her husband left, and she hasn't worn pants with a zipper in longer than she cares to remember. No one is more surprised than Allie when the first time she takes off her wedding ring and puts on pants with hardware, overalls count, right? She meets someone. Or rather, her dog claims a man for her by peeing on him. Ethan smiles at Allie like her pants are just right, like he likes what he sees. He looks at her like she's a younger, braver version of herself. The last thing newly single mom Allie needs is to make her life messier, but there's no harm in a little summer romance, is there? So this seems super cute, and I think this is going to be a quick read because the words are pretty big, so I think this is a good pick. So that is our second book for the August TBR. Time for number 3. Let's see what we have. I'm trying to pick from the... This one fell out, so we're gonna go with this one. Fantasy. Okay, cool. So this is like a pretty open prompt. So right now I'm actually finishing Reckless by Lauren Roberts. I'm almost done with that book, so that is a fantasy. Otherwise I would have chosen that. But I do have a couple of series on here that I haven't started yet. So I have Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I've been really wanting to get into this one. This is a YA fantasy, and I feel like this would be a pretty quick read for me as well. So this is one option. And then I also have Caraval, also by Stephanie Garber, which I just realized. This is also a YA fantasy. This one was on my April TBR, but I just never got around to reading it. But we have this one. Let's see. I also have The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This one is also on Kindle Unlimited, so that would be a good option. So I could have like a Kindle book that I can read as well. And I also have Lightlark by Alex Astor. So these are my options. I don't know which one I think, okay, I honestly think I'm leaning most towards Once Upon a Broken Heart because I have heard nothing but good things about this book, and it is a current series. I think the like most recent one just came out last year. I don't know if it's a trilogy or if there's going to be another one, but I do have 2. So if I felt like carrying on this series throughout the month, I would take 2 books off of my TBR. This one says, Evangeline Fox has always believed in true love and happy endings until she learns that the love of her life will marry another. Desperate to stop the wedding, Evangeline strikes a deal with the charismatic, immortal Prince of Hearts, but she soon discovers that bargaining with the Prince of Hearts is a dangerous game. He has plans for Evangeline, plans that will either end in the greatest happily ever after or the most exquisite tragedy. Can I speak? I don't think I can speak. So I think I'm gonna go with this one. All of these fantasy books sound interesting, so that's why I obviously bought them, but I think I'm gonna choose this one for this prompt. So that is book number 3. All right, book number 4. Let's see what we get. I'm trying to pick from the bottom somewhere. Whatever I can reach. My hand doesn't fit in this jar. I need a new solution for this. But we have random choice, period. I am so, like, I'm not kidding, guys. That's what it says. It says random choice. I'm so excited. Okay, what do I want to read, guys? I don't know. I think one book that I have been talking about wanting to read a lot recently is The Wishing Game. It's also a quick read, so I feel like this will be a fun palate cleanser for me, especially if I'm reading another romance right after reading Reckless. I think that this would be a good choice. So I have The Wishing Game. I've also been wanting to read The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna so badly. Like, I have been talking about this non-stop. I think I literally mentioned it at my most recent book club as well. Obviously there's a lot of books on here that I want to read, but I think it's between these 2, and I don't know. I think because I have been in such a big reading slump and I want to get back into reading and I have such a high reading goal for next month, I think I'm going to choose The Wishing Game. I'm not going to put this off for much longer, I promise. I know this book is apparently incredible, but I did hear that it is slow-paced, and I really don't want to pick up a slow-paced book and it put me back into a slump. So I'm going to put this back on the shelf for now. but we are going to be reading The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer. This says, Lucy Hart knows better than anyone what it's like to grow up without parents who loved her. In a childhood marked by neglect and loneliness, Lucy found her solace in books, namely the Clock Island series by Jack Masterson. Now a 26-year-old teacher's aide, Lucy is able to share her love of reading with bright young students, especially 7-year-old orphan Christopher Lamb. Lucy would give anything to adopt Christopher, but even the idea of becoming a family seems like an impossible dream without proper funds and stability. Just when Lucy's about to give up, Jack Masterson announces he's finally written a new book. Even better, he's holding a contest at his home on the real Clock Island, and Lucy is one of the 4 lucky contestants chosen to compete to win the one and only copy. For Lucy, the chance of winning the most sought-after book in the world means everything to her and Christopher, but first she must contend with ruthless book collectors, wily opponents, and the distractingly handsome and grumpy Hugo Reese, the illustrator of the Clock Island books. Meanwhile, Jack, the mastermind Masterson, is plotting the ultimate twist ending that could change all their lives forever. And I don't know, I'm really intrigued by this. It seems like just a general fiction book and not like specific to romance or anything. And I think this is gonna be a quick read. I think it's like, oh, okay, it's like 300 pages. I thought it was 200, but it's like 300 pages. I feel like I'll be able to read this pretty quick. So this is book number 4. Book number 5. We're doing pretty good because I haven't had to pick any off of my Kindle yet, so we're making a little bit of a dent here. This prompt is, okay, this one is free pick. I just did random choice, so I am gonna put this one back in the jar because I don't think it's fair to just have 2 that I randomly pick. Okay, I'm gonna pick a different one. Pick from the bottom somewhere. Okay, if I can reach in there. Here we go. Okay, this says, by an author you've never read before. Okay, let's see. I would pick Nora Goes Off Script by Annabelle Monaghan, but I already have an Annabelle Monaghan book in my TBR, so depending on the order that I read them, this wouldn't count. I've never read a Jenny Han book, and this is The Summer I Turned Pretty, and I have been wanting to read this one. I also haven't read Lucy Gilmore before. Okay, this is a hard pick. I have a lot of books that I could read. I've also never read a Sarah Adams book, and Sarah Adams is like a bigger author. I've been hearing a lot about her recently, so this could be a good pick. And it's also a sporty romance, and I don't think I've ever read a sports romance. So this, I think I'm leaning towards this one. I also have this one, which is The Love of My Afterlife by Christy Greenwood. I've really been wanting to read this one as well. I think it's between these 2. I don't know. I don't know. I wish I could ask you guys and have you vote, because I have no idea. I think for summer purposes, oh, this one hurts me because I want to read both of these. I might read both of them, who knows. But I think I'm gonna go with The Rule Book by Sarah Adams, just for summer purposes, as well as the fact that I've never read really a sports romance. This could be fun. This one says, Nora Mackenzie's entire career lies in the hands of famous NFL tight end Derek Pender, who happens to be her extremely hot college ex-boyfriend. Nora didn't end things as gracefully as she could have back then, and now it has come back to haunt her. Derek is her first client as an official full-time sports agent, and he's holding a grudge. Derek has set his sights on a little friendly revenge. If Nora Mackenzie, the first girl to ever break his heart, wants to be his agent, oh, he'll let her be his agent. The plan is simple. Make Nora's life absolutely miserable. But if Derek knows anything about the woman he once loved, she won't quit easily. Instead of giving in, Nora starts a scheme of her own, but then a wild night in Vegas leads to Nora and Derek in bed the next morning, married. Okay, that's interesting. With their rulebook out of the window, could this new relationship save their careers and spark the romance of a lifetime? I don't even think I read the back of this book when I bought it. I think I just picked it up. And it actually sounds really good, so I'm excited to read this one. Okay, that is book number 5. So we have one more. All right, time for book number 6. This is our last book of the day. Hopefully it'll be something good. I really want to knock something off of this like little summer TBR right here. Let's hope it's good. Okay, this one. A hardcover. Okay, most of my books are paperback. I think it could be fun to read The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. So this could be a good one. I feel like I always put off reading hardcover books because I'm such a paperback girly, but this is one option. I also have, though, Fourth Wing. And this one could be, I'm like 30 pages in, and, oh, I'm 50 pages in, sorry. Underestimated myself. I think this could be a good choice to continue reading this one. And it's one that I will probably just end up, there's my cat, by the way. It is one that I might just end up getting on my Kindle as well, so that I can have something to read, like, at night when I'm in bed. Okay, it's between these two. This is such a summery read, though. Guys, which one? I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna read Fourth Wing. I'm gonna get this one over with, because then I can read Iron Flame, and it'll knock 2 books off of my TBR, right? You get the strategy? You see what I'm saying? Okay, I think I'm gonna read this one. Don't hate me. I heard this book's good. I honestly will probably read this one soon anyway, because it's Christina Lauren and their books are really good for summertime. But I think I'm gonna go with Fourth Wing, and I'm really excited about this one. Actually, I feel like it's time. It's time to finally read it. I've been in a really big fantasy mood too, so I feel like this is one that I honestly might get through pretty quickly. So these are all 6 books that I picked for my August TBR. Let's do a quick run through of everything that I picked. First, we have a blue cover, which I chose Ellen Hildebrand's The Hotel Nantucket. I have a booktuber slash bookstagrammer recommendation, which I chose Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan. I have a fantasy book, which I chose Once Upon a Broken Heart. Got a random choice book this month, which was The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer. I got a book by an author you've never read before, which I chose The Rule Book by Sarah Adams. And lastly, for hardcover, I chose Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, of course. So this is my entire August TBR. Now, I do obviously have my book club book that I need to read along with this, so that book for this month is Little Fires Everywhere. So that one is also on my TBR technically, but it's not going to be read like as part of my TBR, if that makes sense. So yeah, that is my August TBR for 2024, and hopefully I will get through as many of these as possible so that I can do a little wrap up and you guys can see the books that I read this month. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and comment below some additional prompt ideas that you guys think would be fun to see in maybe September's TBR video or any future TBR videos that I will be making. Don't forget to follow me on my other social medias and totally subscribe here so that you can see more bookish content. And I will see you guys very soon with a new video. Bye!